Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly update for September 4th, 2022. So, this week was super long. I got a lot of work done this week. Changes in where I was working in the parts room, which has gotten me closer to being completed. I'm so close. I got my new shelf, and I was in the process of moving things on Friday, and then all the stuff that I still had up in an upstairs storage room are now down. Now I gotta organize all those, so the next week is gonna be really busy, but at least I won't be bored, right? So anyway, this week was busy at work. So this is Labor Day weekend for those of us in the US. I hope that you guys have it off. If you don't, I'm sorry. It's one of my few holidays that we get. So I didn't do anything yesterday. I had this whole plan of all this stuff I was going to get done over the 3-day weekends, and I did none of it on Saturday. I read, but not as much as I wanted, and so I was really disappointed in myself. But it was kind of a nice lazy day. And then today I've done I had to go do some errands. Problem is that I'm having a lot of vertigo. Now I've had vertigo episodes through my life, in my adult life, and sometimes they come and go, and then I'm fine. But this one, I had some during my vacation. I don't know if I think I mentioned that in my blog. And then it went away, and I was fine. And then Friday, I was finishing a soda at work. We had a little barbecue that our shop manager put on, and I tipped my head back to finish the last of the soda, and then all of a sudden I had vertigo. And yesterday I didn't have more than a touch, but today I was at the grocery store, and I had to stop every once in a while and just hold still, because things were just moving. And it wasn't like super vertigo as in like everything, like my whole visions and everything were going. It just, I could not, I knew my balance wasn't there, and I was going to fall if I didn't stop and hold on to something. And I haven't had it that bad at a store in a really long time. It's very embarrassing when you have to just stop and not move so that your head stops, spinning. Anyway, so it was not a fun morning. So now it's still morning, but I'm not doing anything else. I have some more chores around the house I'm going to do, like my normal dishes and laundry and stuff like that, but I think I'm just going to put them off till the afternoon. Maybe hopefully this will pass and it's just a morning thing, because a lot of times my vertigo is much more morning, somehow, because of laying down and sleeping and something with my inner ears. I'm not sure, but I'm hoping it'll go away again. I was, I don't like vertigo. If anybody's had it, you understand. Anyway, I don't like feeling unbalanced either. I've always had inner ear issues over the years, and I don't like it. Anyway, so sorry. That's my morning. Anyway, so other than that, not much else going on around here. So let's get into the book, since that's I've already talked for 3 minutes. Anyway, so this week I finished 3 things, and then I've started one, and a couple of them I've tried and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with. Again, I'm doing series September, which is put on by Krista at Books and Jams and Sarah at Sarah's Nightstand. And I look forward to this from last year. I really enjoyed it this year. I have so many books that are series books. I've already been reading so many series books this year because of series about series done by Lizzy or Elizabeth at Lizzy Faye Loves Books. So it's one of those things where this is the year for it. And so it's more of a trouble of what do I pick up next is what I want to read. So we'll see what happens. So again, the last book I finished in August, though, was my read of The Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson. This was, so this is my first time reading Mistborn Era 2. I collected them, but I never read them because I knew it wasn't complete, and I just never got to it. So this is following the Mistborn series, and this is like 300 years in the future. So this is very, very different from that one. I would say the writing style is very different. The action is very similar, so that I did like. But this is like, again, there's been growth in they've gone, it's almost like steampunk, kind of era and has a mystery, and it has It has lots of action and, you know, kind of things going on. And I think this is a very and kind of Western inspired kind of thing. So it has like all these elements from different genres. I think it's all mashed into here. And I think he does fairly well with this. This is not a favorite at all. This is was a really good book, but I just I didn't love it. So but it's definitely a book that I want to continue the series, because I do want to finish the Mistborn series. So and I do want to read one book a month to get through that in order to be ready for the 4th book, which comes out, and I'm pretty high on my library list for that. So overall, I really like the characters. I think Wayne is going to have to chill out, or he's going to drive me crazy. Sometimes I like his jokes and things that he does, and other times I'm like, oh my God, please stop. And that could just be my sense of humor. I don't know. I really liked Wax and several of the other characters that we meet in here. I have no idea how this is going to go due to how it ended, as in what the next book is going to be like. As I said, I haven't read this series before, so I'm kind of like curious to see what happens. So this was, I did finish in August. That was my last finish for the month. It did take me most of the month, but I took like a break when I went on vacation. I didn't read this at all. So it wasn't until the last week that I came back to finish it. It wasn't the book's fault. It's really just, I have too many things I want to read. But I am going to try to get to, is it Shadows of Self? I'm not going to say it in here in this one, because this is I bought it when it came out in paperback. Anyway, I think it's Shadows of Self. I don't know, I put it in the other room. Sorry. So anyway, I'm hoping to get to that later in September. But anyway, so I got that done. And then I finished it at lunch. Finished at lunch on what's that, Wednesday, so the 31st. So I was like, well, I don't have any other books with me. I didn't expect to finish it. It was a slow day, and so I got quite a bit read on my breaks. People actually didn't come and bother me during lunch that day, so I got it done. And then I'm like, well, what do I read? And I pulled up on my phone. I had, you know, I do have my Kindle app, so I was like, well, I got plenty of stuff here. So I started going through it, and I decided to pick one of my KU books, because I again got KU for the first time in July during Prime Day. So I have 4 months of it, so I want to see if I'll use it, or if it's going to be one of those things where I get it every once in a while and stop. But anyway, I have it for 4 months for what I paid. And so I picked up Guild by Raven Kennedy, which is the first book in the Plated Prisoner series. So I went into this thinking, because again, I was not going to read a whole bunch at work, because again, I picked it up at lunchtime, and I did read a little bit, and then I got home and I just started reading it. I was so into it, and I read quite a bit that night, and then I finished it on the 1st. So this is it's a very interesting. I hear it's supposed to be a fantasy romance, but at this point it's really just a fantasy, and it has to do with a woman who has been kept as kind of a pet or a precious one from King Midas, and her skin is gold. She everywhere is gold except for like her mouth, and I think her eyes are also, I don't know. It's just like there's only a few things that aren't like gold colored. Anyway, so she has been kept prisoner there for 10 years. She it's one of those things where she understands why she's there, but there's things she doesn't like about it. And then things start changing because of the King Midas he and his ally are deciding to go after another kingdom. And so we get a lot of political stuff, but we get it from her point of view. Like, she's not in it, but she sees it. There is a lot of sexy time kind of things in here, that or you know, a lot of sexualized things of women in here because of the way that this fantasy is written, or this world is. And and then at some point she goes on kind of a road trip, and then things go wrong. Anyway, so I really enjoyed this. It ended on kind of a really big cliffhanger, so I really want to pick up the next one, which I think is Glint. I think the first 4 books are out, and I think the 5th book, I think, might be the final book, which is out next year sometime. So I might be reading a lot of these this month because it read so fast. Now, I know that this was the shorter of all of them, so they're all are longer and longer, but it read really fast. It was one of the fastest reads I've had in a really long time. I really enjoyed her her character, which right now my brain is not coming up with her name. And I can't think of it right now. Sorry. That's what happens when you read too many books. Anyway, but I've really, I'm really curious of what happened, about what happened in the end. This was not a book where you didn't know what was going to happen. I guessed like all the major things that were going to happen. Like you get a hint of it and I knew exactly what was going to happen, but it was fun. Like I still enjoyed the ride. This was a really great read. I'm really glad that I picked this up on a whim. That day. I mean, it'd been on my Kindle Unlimited, like I'd loaded it to read on vacation if I got around to it, but of course I didn't. And I'm just glad I got to it. So I definitely, but the thing is really weird, is I think it went off of KU on the 1st, because once I returned it, I went to look for the next one. I thought the next ones were also on Kindle Unlimited, and they're not. So I had to buy Glint. I was kind of surprised. So maybe I was wrong. I swear that this was on, I know it was on Kindle Unlimited because I returned it. So I don't know if it was just the first one was on there and then, or they came off and it let me finish the book on that day, the next day. I don't know what happened. Anyway, so unfortunately, if you have Kindle Unlimited, I don't know if it's on there anymore because it didn't seem like it to me. And again, I'm going to try to get to Glint sometime in the next couple weeks, probably. Maybe sooner rather than later, just matters how my reading goes. Because I am really interested to see what happens next. And then I picked up a book for series September that is Looking Glass, The Chronicles of Alice novellas by Christina Henry. So this is book 3 in the Chronicles of Alice, which are a retelling of Alice in Wonderland, but in horror. Pretty much. And the first books, Alice and the Red Queen, are very brutal, but I really enjoyed Alice. Red Queen, not so much, but I still liked it. I just didn't love it as much. The first book was just, even how dark it is, it was so good. For changing around the Lewis Carroll story and making it into this horrible place where there's an old city and a new city. New cities are all these people who must be perfect and they're the ones with the money. And the old city is where all the people who are the ruffians, the ones who are bad and doing stuff. And Alice gets sneaks down there and then things go wrong from there. And then we get that story later, but it really is talking about what happens when people are just bad to other people, really. Anyway, so this novella is, there was one of them that was from a perspective from a person that we've never met, or we didn't meet them, I don't think, in the series, but I think we might have heard about them. And it's she's a young girl, which again, her name went right out of my head because I read too many things. Elizabeth. And she is 9 years old, and she kind of also gets kind of caught up in things and goes from the new city to the old city, and it's her adventure, and she's connected to Alice. So there's no reason to read this unless you've read Alice and the Red Queen. So, but I liked that one, even though I wanted to read it. I thought it was a little too long for a novella. I just kept wanting to, let's go. But I liked the way that one went. And then there's 2 of them, the second and the 4th book, which are following Alice and Hatcher, in their adventures after the Red Queen. So that was cool. Those are like continuations. I didn't like the stories that well. They're not like necessary, but it was nice to see where they end up in the last one. And then the 3rd one is on Hatcher before he became Hatcher. And again, I don't want to say too much about Hatcher, but he knew Alice in a certain place. That's at the beginning of Alice, at the beginning of the book. So I don't want to give away too much on that. But I do like him as a character, and it was interesting to see him as a young man, kind of looking back on what how things had changed or how he got started in certain things. Anyway, well, maybe not that. Anyway, but it was interesting to see him younger and more naive, I guess. So this was okay. I'm not again, I'm not huge on story collections. These were novellas, so they were long enough for me to enjoy that way. It's just, I didn't really need this. I think the two books are good. I think as I said, the first story I really liked about the other character who's who's connected to Alice, but you know, I liked that one. That was the more adventurous one. I don't know. I was worried about her more than anything. And then the other ones were just kind of, okay, that was interesting. So this wasn't great, but it's done. This series is complete. I finished this series. So I'm done. So I got a series completion. So the book that I'm in the middle of that I started yesterday was Witches Get Stitches by Juliet Cross. So this, how do I explain it? So this is book 3 in the Stay a Spell series, which is following 5 witches who are sisters, and each book is their love story. So this is book number 3, which we're following Violet. And I was really excited for this one because I wasn't sure how I felt about Violet in the first 2 books because we didn't get a lot of her. We just got little clips, things of her, and she's comes off kind of very standoffish and not to her sisters, but to other people. And she's kind of not the nicest person, it seems. But, when this book, you can see behind why she, is in certain ways, why it came off that way, even though her sisters know that she's not. She just comes off a little rough a little bit. So she and a wolf named Nico have decided to go into business together. She is going to have a tattoo parlor. And so they're in the process of opening that, and things are, she's using her witch power. She is a seer. So she is using that somehow related to, the ink to use, on tattoos to help, people who are also supernatural to do more, or to control things better and stuff. So she's experimenting that, and it's kind of other people finding out about it, which is causing some problems. So as I said, this is the 3rd book. So I just felt like I wanted to pick it up because I'm trying to get through these series, and this was the one I went. And again, this is the only critique that I have for this one, as with the other ones, is that it takes place in New Orleans, but it just doesn't feel like New Orleans. It just feels like it'd take place anywhere. Like it didn't matter where. But it's set there. Anyway, so that's my only little critique of this. So I'm really enjoying this. As I said, I'm about 135 pages. So I have 235 left to read of this. I'm hoping to get a lot of this done today. We'll see how my head goes, but that's my hope, is to try to wrap this up today so that I have one of this. So again, in my series September, there's certain prompts and things. And again, Looking Glass was for That's a Wrap, or the one that's done, or finish it, or it's out of my comfort zone because it was a lot of novellas. There's not my favorite thing to read. So it'll be one for those. And then Guild, I'm going to count for start a series right now. We'll see. It could be a double up really soon. So when I did some spins, I was trying to get some stuff, try to direct my reading, but I really am mood reading. I am really looking at the stacks that I have and just picking, because Guild was completely not on the map of me doing that this month, and I just did it, and I'm glad I did. So I probably will come back to that series, as I said, this month. So I don't know if I'm going to follow. I'm following prompts, but I'm more like just picking books I want to read. So 3 of the books that I picked up because I had done, 2 of them are because I thought I would start them early, because they were the 3 prompts that I picked during my TBR video. I did a spinner wheel, which I will do 1 or 2 here at the end. One of them was Now You Can Watch It. So I still want to read Blood of Elves by Andrzej Sapkowski. So I did split it up to how many chapters there were. So I might do this where I read a chapter a day. They're about, they're like 50 or 40 or 50 pages each. I think they're about 50 to 60 some pages each. So I might do that this week. I'm not positive, but I want to get through this and maybe actually watch The Witcher. I have not watched that yet, even though I've read the 2 first short story collections. This is the first novel in the series. So, and this is also my brother's book, so I need to get it back to him. This is fantasy. As I said, Witcher, it's lots of monsters, and I just don't know how this is going to go. From what I've heard, it's not so much about Geralt and about the other people, so I'm not sure I'm going to like it. So I want to try that. I did read like 5, no, not even 5. I read like 2 or 3 pages, and I was like, okay, I don't want this right this minute, but I might need to force myself to kind of read that. I'm also tried The Black Coast by Mike Brooks. So I read about 38 pages one night, maybe Friday night. And I do want to read this one. I just, as I said, I was in the middle of I was in the middle of the other books that I wanted to get it done. But this is definitely one I'm hoping to pick up this week. I'd like to get it done by next Sunday. So it's, it's like 625 pages. Yeah. So, and again, this is book 1. So this is one I could use for a starter series, or you own it now, you can read it kind of one, because I have both first and second book, and the third book comes out in the end of September, why I want to read this now is to figure out if I need to cancel that pre-order or if I'm going to let it come. So I have all 3, but we'll see. So this is, again, the God King Chronicles, and we're following some people who live on the coast, and they see the raiders that usually come at certain times of the year, but they're coming at a different time of year, and they're all worried because they're not ready for them. And the raiders are actually fleeing from somebody who has taken over their lands. So they've made the choice to come over and be refugees on this side. And so, again, I read just the first chapters to get that. And so it's also other political stuff going on in other parts of the world. And, again, we'll see what happens. As I said, I liked the beginning. I just didn't pick it. I picked it up one night and didn't read more, which is something I do a lot of. And then another one that I'm hoping to pick up this week is The Galaxy and the Ground Within by Becky Chambers. My cats are crying out there. Which is the last book in the Wayfarer series. Sorry. So, this... all I know so far, because I only read about 20 pages yesterday, just to try it, and then I switched to Witches Get Stitches. I don't know if I'm going to get along with this, because it's been a while since I read the Wayfarer series and the books. So I need to get rid. This is the last one, so I want to finish this one. This is one of those ones been sitting on my shelf ready to be finished for years. I mean, I think I got this book last year, or I don't know. I don't remember when it came out in paperback, but it's been at least, I'm pretty sure it's been a year. Yeah, or well, whenever I got it, I want to get it done. Anyway, so this is at showing a kind of a rest stop in the middle of in this universe, in this created here, is that they have tunnels that are ways that ships go from section to section of star systems and stuff, and the first book talks a lot about those tunnels, or the way that those paths are made. This is a 5 hop, 1 stop. So this is a place where people can stop and take a break between the hops, between the different star systems. There's nothing really on this planet but this kind of little resort kind of thing to rest up before they go on again. And we're following the people who are running that as well, or the aliens who are running that, and then those who are coming. And then something's going to happen where I think they all get trapped there for a little bit because of some glitch in some computer system. So I'll see. I don't know. That's about all I know so far. I do want to read this. It was just, I couldn't concentrate yesterday on it, and Witches Get Stitches, I immediately got back into that world really fast. So I did that one instead. So I hope to pick this up at least hopefully by the end of the week. We'll see. As I said, I think I'm going to try to get Black Coast first, and if I can do Blood of Elves, we will see. So that is everything that I've read and everything, but I am going to do 2 more spins on my little of course it's not going to work when I want it to. There we go. Okay, load the app. Yeah. Okay. So it's already like taking out 3 of them that because again, I had the now you can watch it, start a series, and double up. So I've done done the start a series. The other two are the double up one. Again, I think Witches Get Stitches. I'll probably read the next book after that, or Guild. I might read the next, so we'll see. I have options there. So I am going to do the next spin. I'm going to do 2 and see what comes up. So out of the box. So either I can count Looking Glass, which I already finished, or I could start another series that I have from my dad, the Open Seasons. Yeah, I might count this as Looking Glass and be done with it. So we'll see. Anyway, well, let's try once more. Three's a Crowd. And technically, Witches Are Stitches is in that group. No, it's not. It's a 4 or 5 book. Oh, so I have to read something of a trilogy. Okay, so that's a new one. I will, I'll have to come up with something that's a trilogy. What do I have that's second in a trilogy? Or second or third in a trilogy? I'll have to think about that one. Okay, so there's that one. Let's just do one more. Because I love spinning the wheel. I'm dorky dork. And that's a wrap. So that's a finisher. So that could be the Becky Chambers one. So there you go. Okay, so we'll just go with that. So we'll add Three's a Crowd. That's a wrap. And out of the box, I think out of the box, I'm just going to say I did Looking Glass and it's done. That's a wrap. Again, as I said, that's probably going to be the Becky Chambers. And then Three's a Crowd. I'll have to look at my stack. I have trilogies. I have the Half a Soul. I need to read the next one of the Regency Fairy Tales. I have the second one of that. So that could be my Three's a Crowd. So I don't know, but we'll see what I double up onto. Okay, those are I just like spinning. I don't know what I'm gonna read. I'm pretty sure these are the ones I'm gonna focus on after I finish Witches Get Stitches. But we'll see. We'll see how I feel. It could be something else. I keep eyeing my stuff going, oh, I could read that, I could read that, I could read, and I have a lot of series books. So we'll see what I pick. So anyway, how is your guys' reading going? Are you guys celebrating Labor Day? Are you having fun? My brother is cooking the turkey, one of the free ones we got back in Thanksgiving last year. We had gotten 2 free turkeys when we bought so much food at our Winco Foods. So we're doing the second one tomorrow. And I'm doing the sides, of course, because he's cooking turkey because I don't cook very well. So I bought that this morning, which is why I was at the grocery store and why I was having vertigo issues, is because I was stuck there. Anyway, but that's fine. Hopefully the vertigo thing will go away and I won't have to deal with that. But anyway, so that'll be fun tomorrow. That's the only thing we have planned. As I said, I want to get some stuff done around the house, but the way my head is doing, we'll see how that goes. So anyway, let me know what you're reading. Anything going on, let me know. I should have my book haul for August up sometime this week. Other than that, let me know what's going on, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.